the thing about hip flexor and psoas, all human movement is controlled through those pieces. So you said whether you throw a ball or you go to punch somebody or you're benching or doing a curl, it actually starts with your hip flexor and psoas. So if that shit's off, it throws all of your training off, and you're a beast. So it's like really we got to get it set up where you're safe.
I agree.
Sound good?
I agree.
Give me some. So shoes off, lie down on your back. We get you rolling. Well, we're just gonna get her as on point as possible. I mean, like someone like this, it's a high level athlete that like weight trains all the time. I mean, that's her main sport. It's training. So when things get kind of bound up and almost so far gone, they almost like put things in a very dangerous place. You never know when something's gonna blow. So the big thing what Dusty wants me to do, obviously, is one of his athletes, one of his personal friends, wants me to make sure that she's set up to actually train safely and effectively. So, I mean, the big thing is she has body workers. She has chiropractors. My jam, man. I'm going to try and top that for sure, fix some shit that nobody else can. And that's kind of my deal, So, I mean, the main thing for me is make sure that, I can get some things set up so that her other workers can kind of continue it. And, she can progress in a safe, productive, timely manner, Yeah. Give me a second. Let me just check your diagnostics and then I'll give you a pillow if you want, okay? So just relax. So Todd, we got about 50% of range of motion here. So Jess, so we're in lunging, leg pressing, should be loading on the hamstring. See how it's loading on the hip flexor and psoas? So we gotta undo that, all right? Now here's the thing, the psoas is so deep. So imagine this is your spine. Psoas wraps around, tucks in. So if you think about it, first you have your body fat, then you have your ab wall, which is like dense, it's really strong. You're obviously a very strong person. Then you got your intestines, then you got your stomach, then you got, man, it's impossible to get to the psoas with a thumb. So I'm gonna show you how the new fit works, man. It's gonna be sick, you're gonna love it. So it neurologically turns off muscular pain. It's gonna hack that bullshit signal from your brain to your psoas. Okay. Reset it, and it's like it never even happened. It's really cool. First things first though, we gotta lengthen this thing. So this first part is a little bit more scraping. It's some scraping. I'm sure you've done something like that. So what we're really looking for today is like a nice reset for you. And that way, like I was telling Todd, you go back home and your people can maintain it for a while until you can make it back out here, So here's the part that a lot of people miss is the PNF stretch, drive, and relax. So this by itself really does great after you do a scrape or any kind of percussion and relax. Just resets the nervous system, drive. So this is called a new fit. It's Russian stem, super high end. But these cats out of Austin figured out a way to use it for therapy. So they found a way to reverse that polarity. So Russian stem shortens things. It creates 355% more hypertrophy. We've been using it on the Miss Olympias. It's pretty high end, like Sean Roden, all those guys out in Venice.
I've seen it,
yeah, it's great. Brad Rowe's the one that turned me on to it. That being said, though, the guys that made this version of it out of Austin, Texas, there's no patent laws in Austin. So they created a way to use it for therapy. So you can lengthen things, turn stuff off. So in this case, we're going to use it to turn off that psoas. It's crazy, Yeah, it's
right stage right now, guys.
It's crazy, man. We're gonna take you from top sirloin
prime
to
rib,
more like Wagyu tenderloin, right?
Okay.
That's that high end, that
please.
AJ stuff. For this little FST fascia stretch therapy, we're gonna add the new fit to it. So big deal is kind of layering therapies. So if we add like the neuromuscular aspect to it, we basically turn even the biggest dude into like a yogi. It's awesome. Yeah, really cool. So I'm gonna have you put this one down your pants. So what we want to do.
I was not expecting that. Holy shit.
Okay, so turn over that way. I'm gonna put one on your abductor. Sorry, should have warned her out.
Yeah.
I figure you're so tough though, right?
I think it's like more of a shock than anything.
It's like I heard your beat, so it's gonna be kind of like licking a battery. I'm gonna keep it on, okay?
Okay.
So what you're feeling is your dysfunctional signal from your brain to your adductor and hip being overwhelmed. So what blows my mind is that if it was okay, it wouldn't be feeling that way. It wouldn't have a reaction.
Yeah. No, I'm actually feeling pain like right here now.
Like almost erector. Piriformis even. Yeah, so, after our first session, what we found was, Charity had an anterior pelvic tilt. She kind of already knew about it. It's like a thoratically loaded spine. Really, it classifies really short hip flexors, short hamstrings. She even cramped up doing like a hip bridge and stuff. But really, a lateral pelvic tilt is when one tilts back and one tilts forward. So with the one side, it was so different. The adductor was loaded, hip flexor was loaded. On the other side, the glute wasn't really working, QL was loaded. So really what we're just trying to do is establish like harmony again. That way she can be fine with her compound movements. We found some weaknesses and loopholes in her training. She needs to do more adductor, abductor, things that she thought she was doing, but you know how it is. We always got to get checked.
Yeah.
Exactly, just something different. Some of that comes down to, how she's treating her recovery work. So she has her homework. We're gonna use the Theragun a little bit more as a precursor to stretching, a little more frequency in her stretching for post training. She was doing some yoga sessions during her week, but the funny thing about that is she's actually hypermobile. Things are triple and quadruple jointed. So yoga probably doesn't help some of this stuff. So, we're kind of looking at the whole thing and, strengthen her gains so that way, she can travel and kind of like transition in this new lifestyle and make sure she's healthy and productive, So with that, how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel a lot looser. I felt like I was telling him I was super compressed just because I've been flying. I've been home like 6 days in the last 4 weeks. So being in the plane and then training really, really hard and not having that time to recover and rest, I could definitely feel it. So I definitely feel like I'm a lot more mobile, lighter.
When's your next workout?
Tomorrow.
Oh, dude, you gotta text me, tag me in that one, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, make sure to get some food. But and like now that she has someplace she can go to on this, there's just not a lot of people who are doing body work at this level. So hopefully I'll be able to travel out there. I love Atlanta. People are amazing out there. So if you're watching this and you're one of Charity's clients, one of her friends, we'll be out there soon and getting this stuff going. But that being said, man, like honestly, little tweaks. You'll level up quite a bit. It's crazy how much more you can pull and push when your body's not scared. It's that kinesiophobia. Right. So really, in the end, if you can stay like that for a while, next levels come so fast. There's the recovery time speeds up, and from there it's like, man, you don't really need as much therapy.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, it'd be like a few times a year when we get together.
Thank you so much.
It's so good, man. It's so nice meeting you, Todd, my man.